Hi everyone, I'm Karen Combs and welcome to Flosstube 58. It is February 22nd. It's a Sunday and I hope to get this uploaded later today. For those of you that are new, I want to thank you for joining us. I hope you'll enjoy the Flosstube and all the stitchy goodness I'll be showing. And for those of you returning, thank you. I always enjoy seeing your comments, and it kind of feels like we're just a fun little family here, and I want to thank you so much for that. So last time on Flosstube 57, it was a ginormous whip parade, which was over almost 2.5 hours. I think it took me over 4 hours to film because I had to break and reset up, and I can't even tell you how long it took to get it ready and then take it down, but I'm glad that I did it. I'm glad you enjoyed it. It helped me kind of see what I have and kind of formulate, as I mentioned last time, what I'm going to try to do. I'll say what I'll be doing, but what I'm going to try doing moving forward. And those of you that commented on Ziggy's snoring, you know, he's just a little 10-pound dog, but oh, he makes a big noise. And many of your pets were snoring along with him. So I loved that visual of us together in Flosstube with our pets around us, just snoring away, happy and content. Start with my book of days, which I've been keeping track of my stitching, and then what I have put down here at the bottom are the things that I wanted to focus on. And what I did last time, I should go back, because what we'll do today is I have a little bit of haul, because this is the first Flosstube I've done since home here since November, because we were away several months, as you noticed. I was in a different setting. So I did do a Flosstube, but I didn't have all my stuff. And anyway, I didn't have the haul. So anyway, this is the first one since I'm back. And so I'm going to do some haul. I'm going to do what I'm working on and what I'm thinking about doing. I do have a finish, which we'll get to, but let's do haul. Oh my, I hear my coffee maker turning off, and I should have gotten myself some coffee because now I hear that and I want coffee. It's that siren song. So I have a little bit of haul. I have piles everywhere. Should I do haul? No, you know what? I'm going to do finish first because my birthday was last month. And if you remember in November, and if you don't, I don't blame you because that was a while ago, I mentioned two things I wanted to have a birthday finish for. Well, I did finish one of them, and it is Mary Finley. Let's see, I'm going to have to, there we go, Mary Finley. And it was called for button box medium dark, which I did not have. So I'll show you what I substituted. And I used Vicki Clayton silks. Now I did something a little different. Let me go back. There are 2 dogs and 2 rabbits. Let's see, you can see right there. I changed it to our 3 dogs, 2 that have passed, and then, of course, Ziggy now, and 1 giant rabbit. And I actually wanted to put their names, and no matter how I charted it, it just was going to be too, even over 1, too tight, too cluttered, so I did not put the names. I tried everything, and it just didn't work, so I left it as is. but it is on antique button medium dark. So it called for button box, but I had some antique button. So let me stand up so you can see it. Here it is. It's such a pretty sampler. And I colored the dogs as our dogs were. There's the black and white one is Coco. And then the next one that's white and kind of grayish is Benji. And then the gray and brown is Ziggy. And then the big giant rabbit, which is funny because we do have a big giant rabbit that's under our holly bushes. So here that is. I'll be taking that to get it framed. I have one that I'm waiting for it to come back. So this will be the next one that will go to get framed. And our local Hobby Lobby does a good job, so they're framing it for me. Okay, so that's the finish. Now, surprisingly, I don't have that much haul for being gone as long as I was. But I will show you what I have. So last summer, there was a retreat. I think Annabelle's did it. And this was one of the charts they offered. I did not go to the retreat, but Annabelle's had some extra copies and they allowed the kits to be purchased. So I was fortunate enough to get one of the kits. It's Plum Street, Autumn in Williamsburg. So it's all kitted up. So that I got in November. It came after we had left. So it was being held. So that I'm excited. I'm really excited to start. And it's got a combination, as you can see, of DMC and weeks. I do not know the status if you can still get it, but Autumn in Williamsburg. And then many of you have this. This was offered through the Friends of Hands Across the Sea Facebook group, MC 1899. Those are all Smyrna crosses. I actually think you can purchase this now. So I did not work on it, but I did get it and download it. Okay, these are kind of together. So I don't know if you remember last year, there was a Christmas box with Kitten Stitcher, which I did not get, and I wish I had. So as I watched the unveiling, I made notes of the charts that I wanted from that box, and I was able to get several of them. Two of them I was able to purchase at the Jingle Ball, which I'm guessing they'll probably come out at market in March. But this is Comfort and Joy by Hello from Liz Matthews. Let's see, there we go. I just love the little houses, the quilt blocks. So that was a PDF that I purchased at the Jingle Ball. This was another one, a Winter Whale by the Blue Flower. I just love that. And then several of the items, let's see. 5 nickel needles. I think this is available readily for purchase now. And that's also by the Kitten Stitcher, Shakespeare's Peddler. And there's a series. This is 5 nickel needle, and they're patterned after needle books. And what size are they? 89 by 125. So they're just little, on 40 count, it'd be 4.5 by 6 1/4. And then I missed this one, but it's readily available. So I did purchase this from 123 Stitch. This is 1 nickel needle. And I think 3 nickel needles is coming out at market. So I did get those. And then there was another chart by Samplers Not Forgotten that's available at the Attic. And it may be readily available coming soon after market, but I don't know that for sure. Right now, it's an exclusive at the Attic. And a sweet friend of mine picked it up for me when she was there in January. And I didn't ask her permission, so I'm not going to say her name, but she knows who she is, and she is the sweetest and most talented person. So that is Home for Christmas, 1822 by Samplers Not Forgotten. Here's the title. I just love that big white house and the trees, and it says Peace, Love, Joy, 1822, which you could put this whatever year's date that you work on it. Now it's got that big white house, which leads me to the other piece of haul that I had. And when I was, my husband and I were away in Florida for 2 months, Central Florida, and I was able to go over to Common Threads, which used to be Brick City, but it's Common Threads, and I believe I have the name correct, in Ocala. And I was able to meet Linda, Stitchy Linda, on Instagram and Flosstube, and also Peter of Oh For Pete's Sakes. Love both of their floss tubes. And Linda does hers with Chrissy, who is finally a farm girl. So I was able to meet them, and Linda mentioned she really likes color and cotton. And she uses tusk for white. So I went online, and Color and Cotton had, let me see what it's called. All right, they're just listed separately. They have a thread pack, a white thread pack that has 5 different whites. And I'll hold it up, but it's not going to really show. It'll just all look like white. But I got the thread pack because, there it shows a little bit. I wanted to try the different whites, and I thought for that big white house, I'm going to give that a try. And Linda said she really likes the coverage, and I know white or light colors are always an issue, especially white. So if you're interested in some different whites, go on Color and Cotton, white threads. And hopefully they still have the thread pack, but you can always get them individually. Like I said, I think there's 6. There's old lace, raw linen, tusk, pearl white, and they, I know on camera they just all look white, but they're all just a little different, and snowflake. Some are just a little creamier, some are more pure white. Snowflake is really white, almost like optic white. But I thought it would be good to have the whole pack, because then I can keep, what I thought I'd do is take an index card and cut a piece and with the name and just keep it as a reference. So anyway, that's my haul. That's it. I did take a bunch of projects with me, and in the whip parade last time you saw everything I have as a whip. And what I decided to do is 2 things. I went through my notes of my book of days, and I realized that most of the time I will work on a project 3-4 days, unless there's something special I need to finish it for. And sometimes on something I start new, I may work a week on it, but most of the time I'm working just 3 or 4 days. So I thought, all right, if you take 30 days, divide it by 3, that's 10 projects. I'm going to pull 10 projects, and those are going to be what I focus on in February. But within those 10 projects, I'm going to have 1 that I'm going to work on every day, a strand or 2, or not a strand, a thread or 2. And let me fix this chair here. And then I'm also going to have what I called my whip snowball. It's like a debt snowball that helps you pare down your debt, but it's a whip snowball. So I picked out the projects that were closest to being finished or were the smallest ones. And I had a couple because I had just finished 3 or 4 last year of the smaller ones or ones that were almost done. So those smaller ones are going to be worked on. And then I picked out 7 or so other ones that through the month, those were my focus. So that probably makes no sense, but it works for me. So basically, I have a group that I'm going to focus on. I have one I do a thread every day, and then I have one that I focus on that's smaller. So no set days, because when I have to do that, I start to get stressed about it. Oh, I have to do it another day, and what did I, let me backtrack. I just watched the Attic's Flosstube, and Carolyn was talking about America 250, the chart, that they are waiting on supplies, they're doing their best. It's had a lot of orders, so it's stressful because they can't get the supplies, and most everyone's patient, but a few are not. So she was just explaining, please be patient with us. And she mentioned something about starting at a certain date, and she hasn't started hers yet. And she said she'll get to it, and I thought this was a good thought. Life has enough stress and deadlines. I'm not going to do that in my stitching. I thought that's true, because sometimes something it could be a sell, just because something I'm working on, I'll get stressed about it. And she's right. There's enough stress outside of stitching. I don't want to bring it in. So the focus that I just told you about, we'll see how that works for me. It may not work for you at all, or if you're searching, you might try that. Just, it's something to think about, and I might not do it very long either, but so far I've enjoyed it. So let me show you what my strand a day is. And sometimes I'll do 2 if I'm really, I won't say enjoying it because I'm enjoying all of it, but I want to leave myself hungry for it. So then the next day I'm ready to pick it up again. And you've seen this. This is QUAKER Virtues. And I had several people ask for the conversion I was doing. And if you look at last month, so it was 57. I put it in, I didn't put it in the description, maybe I did, but it's in the comments to several people of what I'm using. You know what, I'm going to make myself a note to put it in the description. That way you can see where it is. Because I am doing 1 Waterlilies that has different colors as the main one, and then doing some of these others as accents. And here it is. It's like, enough explanation, just show us. I'm doing it on Lugana, 28 Lugana, 1/1. And by doing that single strand a day, I got quite a bit done. I was actually very surprised. So here it is. That big motif right above the C, that whole section wasn't done when you saw it last. And I have a little bit more to do. Let's see, over here, and then that will be done. Then I'll start angling down again. So that's with just a a thread or 2 a day. So that is one that's my constant. Every day, either when I start or when I finish the day stitching, I work on it. So that I'm going to keep doing a thread a day until I'm finished. At least that's the plan. Then I have my 2, what I call the whip snowball or the smaller things. And what I do with these is most everything I have is huge, so I'll work on the big one. Then when I'm ready to switch, I'll work on one of the smalls, and then I'll go to the big ones. Sometimes it's just a day on a small. But this is one, this is actually a cell. Harriet got her 1817. This is a stitch along with our Sampler Years Facebook group. It is so pretty, and I am down in here. I am using a Vicki Clayton silk pack. So there are the colors, so pretty. And I am doing it on 40 count Tropical Stitches Zinnia. That's true to the color. Now I've gotten down almost finished with the letters, and then next will be her name, and then the motifs. So that's one that I am focusing on in between my big ones. And it will be a focus until it's finished. That's my thought, is as I work on the small ones and move them, then another one slides in, and pretty soon I'll make a dent in the millions of whips that I seem to have. It's not a million. It's under 100. It's a lot under 100. This is one of the other smalls, and it's not that small because there's a lot of stitching. But there is Liberty by Plum Street. And look at the houses. There's like 17, 18, 19 houses, and then all that lawn. It's surprising how much stitching there is. I am using the called for threads. Oh, here they are. It's a beautiful colors, and I thought I had this on the back. I think this is a piece of R&R. It's just a scrap that I had. I don't remember the color. That's true to it. And here it is. So I've got a third of the house is done. That's the wing of a big bird right there. I know it kind of looks like an angel head on a tombstone, but that's part of a bird. And the spacing in this is correct. I know it looks a little spaced out, but that I'm working on as well. And those two you just saw, those two smalls, are what I work on alternately between these big projects. I hope that makes sense, and if it doesn't, it's okay. Now we're going to look at what I've worked on this month, not this year. And let's see. And then I do have a little mini kit parade I want to show you. But Mary Carter, you've seen this too. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous sampler. We're doing this in the Monday with Mary group on our Sampler Years Facebook page. And I just took it off the frame. I've already run through one of the reds, or that's really like a plum color. These are the colors. There's just 8. I'm almost done with this spool. You need multiple spools of this. But here it is. I'm doing this on 40 count, Lakeside, cedar plank. That's the call. That's true. Now let's hold it up. There's all the letters. I still have to do a little bit of the satin in this band. Letters, and there's an Irish or Florentine stitch. Those little lozenges have some satin stitch. Kind of a, it's like a half cross stitch in the next one. More letters. I've got to fill in a little bit of that satin stitch. I'm not happy right in there, right in here with the coverage. So I'll fill that in a little bit. And all kinds of little motifs there, and then a bazillion eyelets. Let me zoom in on the eyelets. And then these letters are eyelets. So I finished the eyelet band last night. So that is Mary Carter, which has gotten, I've worked on her quite a bit this month off and on. And she will probably also be a constant that I will be working on through the months until she's done. All right, let's see. Should I do this? I was going to do, shouldn't tell you what I was going to do, but I'm not. I was going to do what I'm considering for my birthday chart parade. And I had it all set. And then I decided not to do it. I decided to do something different for you. But I had selected a bunch of different ones to start on my birthday in January. And this is the one I finally decided on, which was not really on my radar, but then all of a sudden it was. Stacy Nash, Mary Bars. I know many, many of you have done this. And it is beautiful. And the called for is parchment. And here are the threads. And there's multiples of several of these colors, which I did not put on here. They're in the project bag. There are the colors. Well, I laid the colors on parchment. And one of the colors that you have to have 5 skeins for, which is schneckly, it did not show up on the piece of parchment I had at all. And I thought, well, that's not good because it's the whole border and it's throughout the whole sampler. I don't think I kept it in here. No. So instead, I am using 40 count, I believe it's Hawthorne. I'm supposed to have written it on my tag, and I did. Yes. Oh, it's 36 count. All right, I'm glad I checked. It's 36 count Hemingway by Needle and Flax. Now here's, before I show it to you, here's the color. It's kind of a light khaki with a little bit of maybe a deep rose. And here's Mary. Now the top ghosts, but it's supposed to. That's how the original was. That white and that pink kind of ghosts out. I think I'm almost done with the first page there. And just working on this little funky, that's going to be some kind of a berry bowl. Well, I know it looks like some kind of animal with a weird wing, but there she is. So working on her, and I was kind of dubious about my choice of linen when I was in the pink and white letters, but now that I have more in there, I'm happier with it, because I almost thought about restarting. But I think it's going to be really pretty. So that is my birthday start. And I put her in my Stitch Folk bag. It says, I love you this much. So that one is new. You have not seen that. That's a new start. Okay, I have to reach under the camera because I have a whole pile. That must have looked odd. Oh, it's so stacked up. This is another new start, and this was an unexpected new start. Recognize the bag? Well, Krista at our sampler years, Monday with Mary, started this. And I bought this on the first go-round. Charlotte Warrington, 1838, which is a massive sampler. And I know many of you have worked on it. Bridget, my friend on Instagram, and my friend in life. We have Instagram friends, and then every once in a while we get to meet them in person, and it is just a joy. But Bridget has finished hers. I know many of you that worked on it have. I know Sean is, Periwinkle Stitcher is working on it. And every time I saw hers, I think she's done a lot down in here. It's like, oh, I need to pull mine out. Well, when I got it, and these are the colors, and this was offered through Homespun group on Homespun, is it Homespun Gatherings? On Facebook. It's an exclusive. I got it when it was first ordered, or first offered. Here's all the colors, lots of colors. And I think it's going to be offered again, I think. I'm not sure. But I'd actually started it. I think it's 2 years ago. I'll show it to you. Because I ended up not liking how my threads looked on the linen. Yeah, it was January 2024. This curry yellow, which is all through the border, bothered me. It doesn't even show up on my piece. And I thought, I just didn't like it. I love this linen, so I will take that out and reuse it. But that stopped me, and I didn't go any further. So Charlotte has languished in this bag. So I thought, all right, I need to restart. And it's a big piece of linen. So I looked to see what I had that was a yard piece or bigger than half a yard, and I had a few. So I am doing this on Bedrock by Shakespeare's Peddler. It's just a little more brown. You know, it just is a touch different. Where is it? It's falling on the bottom. They're very close. That's the one that I started with. This is just a touch lighter, not as golden. Which I love this linen. I will use it for something else. So I thought, let me try it on Bedrock. And I decided I wanted to get right into the action. So I started down here. And I worked on it for an evening, an afternoon and an evening. And here she is. That's the color. I'm laughing because you should see how big this piece of linen is. All right, hold on. Okay, this isn't working. Okay, this is the linen. I'm still wadding it up. That's the linen. Now, I did give myself more than a 3-inch border. Okay, let's see. But it's terrifying how big this is, this linen. But there she is. Is that right side? Yes. So I got the peacock almost done. Started filling in the grass, which is 2 colors. See how that curry color, which is all through it, shines. And even back there it shows up. So I am much, much happier with the change of linen in Charlotte. So I have got 0.1% done right there. So that one I'll just keep working on. And she is stunning, absolutely stunning. Now that same sweet friend picked this up for me way back in January. Well, I guess this is February, but anyway, this is available at the Attic, Plum Street Samplers, America 250. And it calls for 36 count smoky quartz. Well, I had a piece of 40 count. So I pulled that out and I ordered the Vicki Clayton silk pack. So here are the colors. So beautiful. And I have a top left corner start. Here's the linen. It's kind of a gray with a little bit of a, well, kind of a smoky yellow. So let's picture this plus quartz. So there's my start. And I think I mentioned in last time that I did have an intentional start. That was it. And the birthday start was intentional. Charlotte just kind of snuck up on me. All right, so what else is in my pile to work on this month, which I've worked on everything except 2, I think, that I selected to work on this month, and we're not done with the month yet. So this is Marianne Buck. This is an exclusive from the Attic Needlework Press. And I am using the conversion from the Attic. So these are hand-dyed silk. So a lot of Belle Soie, some dinky dye. They're so beautiful. Oh, look how gorgeous they are. And she is on 40 count Muddy Duck. And I would say I am, let's see, I've got the whole top portion done. I am almost done with the middle. So here is, that's the true color. And here she is. I can't tell if that's a squirrel or a monkey, or a goat or a cow. I'm gonna go with a monkey and a goat, but I think it's a squirrel and a cow. And I like the little trellis on that outbuilding and the gate, the gold gate. So I squished up the verse, and I don't know if I'll fix it. You can see there. And I don't know, Ziggy, stop. He's either growling in his sleep or he sees something outside. Right in here, I got really close because of where I started, because I started at the other end, which was a mistake, but it fit in there, and I may leave it because that's what the school girls did. And on the sampler, it's real squashed on another verse that the original stitcher did. So I may just leave that. I don't want to take all that out over one. Yeah, it's squashed in another spot that the stitcher did down in there. So I'll probably just leave it. And so I did work on Marianne Buck, and I love how that Belle Soie red looks. Trying to keep everything organized because I did press everything. Now this one you saw everything last time because you just did. Where's my, this is Mary Victor. It's from Williamsburg collection, and I will put a link in the description to the original sampler so you can take a look at it. This is from the exemplary, and I did my own silk conversion, which here are it came as a kit. There's the DMC, and here's my conversion. And I'm doing it on 40 count ballet slipper by Fox and Rabbit. I had just the tiniest start, and I did work on this. Got this top portion done. The letters are going to be all an eyelet on that row. So I did get a start, and I had to leave the thread hanging because I've got to start that next eyelet. So I just, when I first saw that, and I think I bought it on eBay, it's an older chart, I just really liked the figures in it. And it's from 1764. Make sure you can see what I'm seeing. So I'm just up in there. That's going to be a long-term project, but I wanted to get some work on her, so I cycled her into this month to work on. All right, this one, I think I had 1 day to work on it. Get it here. It's also a newer chart from Shakespeare's Peddler, and the Attic is doing a stitch-along, informal stitch-along. It's the checkerboard house. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous sampler. Here are the called for. Just like that. And I am doing her on 40 count Dames of the Needle cow fodder. Where is it? Okay. Here's the color of the linen, and that's what I have done so far. Look at that kind of funky corner. And the bird. So that, I'm going to try to get another day's work on it this month. Okay, a few more. This one is one I have not worked on this month yet. But we've got another week, another 6 days. It's Across the Sea sampler, Chessie and me. Those are all rice stitches in those flags. So I'm doing it on 36 count American chestnut, called for colors. There they are. And the top section I'm going to show you is the lady and the verse all over one. So there it is. Now I got all that and working on the endless rice stitches on those flags. And the next section below the lady that's in over one is going to be, oh, this will be fun. It's a ship. I need to work on this one. I haven't worked on it this month yet, so I need to do that. That'll be fun. Maybe I'll pull that out to work on this afternoon. This is another one that's on my list to work on this month, which I haven't. Houses of Hawk Run Hollow. Now, like I said, I still have a few days left of the month. And what I'll do is cycle most of them off. A couple of the Marys I'm going to keep. The thread a day and the 2 smalls. So 5 I think I'm going to keep working on, and then I'll cycle 5 more in its place. Just so through the year, everything gets worked on. Some more than others, but everything gets worked on. At least that's my goal. All right, so here it is. I think this is platinum, 40 count platinum. No, I need to at least get that house filled in. So this one I might cycle to next month if I don't work on it this one. And I did work on this one, I think, a day. This one's going to go into what we're talking about next. All right. Those are going to go into what we're talking about next. And, all right. So, and of course, Charlotte's on the floor. Yes. All right. You know what? I'm going to pause because there's a couple things that I want to talk about, and I need to pull Charlotte back out. So let me do that, and I'll be right back. Okay. Got a little bit organized and back. So I showed you Charlotte Warrington, and I want you to take a look at these animals. Because this came out in January. In May, there's a couple of other samplers that came out that same year, be 2 years ago, that probably were done at a similar, could be the same teacher. Well, it talks about it here in Charlotte. Now, let me just pull this out. This chart by Cross Stitch Antiques. Oh, Sweet Humility, Eliza Townsend. Look at the animals. And Kathleen said that she and Vicki had talked, and Charlotte is very similar to Eliza. Charlotte was stitched in 1838. Eliza lived only 7 miles away from where Charlotte stitched her sampler, and Eliza was born in 1826. And she stitched her sampler in 1836, so 2 years apart they were stitched. Due to the similarities between the two samplers, they're surmising that they had studied under the same teacher, possibly the same school. So I want to show you the animals. There is a fox, or is it, look, I don't know, there's right up in here, there's a fox. There's many similar animals. Look at the red house, look at the fox. The peacock. Just some similarities. So this one is so sweet. I purchased this not too long after I purchased Charlotte, and I decided to go ahead and get the silks for it. I really like the color palette. So if you couldn't get Charlotte and you want to stitch something similar, this is a good option. And I think I'm going to do it on, I ordered it from Kathleen, and it came with 36 count vintage pecan butter, and have no idea if it's still available as a kit. But I've decided, that's vintage pecan butter. I've decided to, did I do 40? Yeah, I want to do 40 count. So I pulled Maple Bar, which is just a little, this is Maple Bar, just a little different, a little more golden. So I think I'm going to like the colors on it. And I think Katie Strachan is doing this over one in silk. I know I've seen other people work on this. I think this one's going to be a start. Maybe Valentine, oh, Valentine's Day's passed. Okay, a February start, because it reminds me of Valentine's. Like I need another start, but you know what? It's okay. I was thinking the other day, would I be happier that I started and not finished, or happier I never started? Well, I think I'd be happier that I started. So I'm going to start some of these things. Anyway, while I'm working on my progress to finish. This is also a very similar sampler. This is Hannah Green, Queen of the May. Look at the fox. Look at the animals. Let me show you the title. She was Queen of the May. I don't have linen pulled for her, but I do have the Vicki Clayton silk pack. Okay, what's interesting is there's that fox. No, maybe it's an owl. Then look at the, okay, I'm just gonna point out the similarities. It's just really fun to see these samplers stitched by different girls. It's over in here. Similar, yet different. And then here's Oh Sweet Humility. Similar sheep by that fox owl. Can't tell what it is. I'll have to look at the chart. So I wanted to point that out because those are 3 samplers that are very similar yet different. Probably stitched, and I'm guessing probably stitched under the same teacher. All right, one more, and then we'll do a little whip. Nope, we'll do a little kit chart parade. So I showed this in my whip parade, GH 1857, which is a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous sampler. And I did the little mattress pillow. I've used it so much the book's falling apart. I did this little mattress pincushion. And I pondered whether I should start it or not on the big one, because I have all the silks. Well, I actually did start it because Sean, Periwinkle Stitcher, on her last Flosstube, said to me, you should start it. Well, I actually did a while ago, and then I decided to switch to the pincushion. But here's my start. It's on, I think this is XJU Old Mushroom. So there's my start. So I have started it. It's just, should I continue? I don't know, because what I really like on this sampler, let me pull it up. What I really like is that big house and the trees next to it. So I need to look and see how big it would be as a drum like that, because I'm thinking of just doing that, seeing if I can pull the whole sampler here. All right, here's the, I really like that. I don't know, the flowers are pretty too. I really like that one too. I'll just go ahead and do the whole thing. Because I point out all the things. There's only a couple I really don't care for. That cornucopia with the flowers, I don't know. I've never been a fan of that. And that's just me. But I like some of the other things. Maybe I could just, I like that basket. Maybe I could put that over there. I don't know. Anyway, I do appreciate Sean's encouragement and just wanted you all to see as it is started. It started. So, should I keep going? I'm going to probably put it into the rotation, maybe for next month. I don't know. We will see. All right, so the last thing, and I don't even know where we are time-wise. The last thing I wanted to do, because I had pulled some of these as a chart pattern parade for things that I wanted to think about for a birthday start. Well, I already started the birthday start, so I thought I'm going to break it up into some different things. Some you've seen. Different patriotic stitches I want to do. So you've seen these because I'm working on these. And you've seen this one last time because I'm working on it. So these are some, let me show it to you, some patriotic things for America's 250th anniversary. That's where I'm at. I'm doing that on Vintage Country Mocha. And the other one I'm working on is Land of the Free by Willow Tree Sampling. And you saw this last time too. Now I'm working on the house. It's being constructed. So those are the ones that I'm working on, but I pulled some that I want to consider working on. Patriots Inn, I bought this last year and kitted it when I was at the attic. I mean, it's all set to go. What did I kit it with? Called for. And even have the linen. What do I have? 35 count Irish coffee. Oh, see, I'm going to pull all those out and I'm going to want to start them all right now. Look at that big flag. This is by Annie Bees. Yeah, that's another one that should be an eminent start. Oh, those colors are so rich. So Patriots in. Some of these are going to be older. This is Tree of Life Samplings. Penny America. It's like a penny rug. I would just do the center portion. Let me show you the whole thing. I like that basket. I like the flowers coming out of it. They look like fireworks. I like everything about it, except I'll leave the rug part off. There's no date, but I know this is older. I bought that at the estate sale I went to a few years ago, so I know that's older. Liberty Hill Farm. I think this might have been from that estate sale too, by Summer House. Look at this. Oh, it's a pretty drum, and it's kitted. It's kitted with 30 count. Yeah, this was from the estate sale. I don't know if I'll do 30 count, but that's the color. And I don't know the called for either. And that's even got the little toppings, so that needs to be a start. I don't have the threads for that and haven't looked to see. Almost looks like it's on Confederate gray. But it's an R&R that it's kitted with. Liberty Hill Farm. Boy, I like that. Up here is what it looks like. So that's another one. Sampler House 3 by Plum Street. Look at the sheep with the bunting. So some of these are charts, some of them have supplies, some have nothing. This is Homespun Elegance Country Spirit Collection, Delivering Liberty. For some of you, you may have this. For some of you, this might be brand new. This again was from the estate sale. This is one I kitted up with a needle and thread Baltimore salt box. I haven't stitched it yet, but I like the house. I like the repetitive of the quilt blocks and the trees. So I've got it ready to go. What did I pull that? 28 count. Oh, I was going to do it over 1. There's the colors. 1/1. No, that one's ready to go. Flag Day Pin Cushion by Chessie and Me. Oh, the cat. I love the cat. Another big waving flag. Another Chessie and Me. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to be patriotic, but to me, it's New England. It felt patriotic. Return of the Whales. Grand Old Flag Sampler, Chessie and Me. These I have not kitted. That red door, the flag, love that. Home Safe to Me. It's a needle book, it looks like. Look at the whale, the little pillow with the whale with the flag. Close up so you can see it. Lady Liberty. It's another little scissor fob, pillow, and needle book. Oh, I like that. This one you've seen, Stars and Stripes. The Stars was done by Plum Street. There's the called for. And Stripes was done by Shakespeare's Peddler, and there's the called for thread. It's companion. I believe these are still available. I got those from Market several years ago. This one I have all kitted. American Sampler House. And I've got a blue in there. Darker than that, so I don't know. I wonder if I've got the thread. I haven't looked at this in a while. It's all kitted. I've got a piece of, oh, I've got like 3 or 4. I have a piece of that. I have a piece of that. There's the threads. And I have a dark blue, which I'm thinking the lighter blue. Probably the lighter blue, the light gray, I don't know. That's why I hadn't decided yet, so that's why it's all together like that. There's quite a few beautiful designs in Hello America by Teresa Kogut. I haven't done any yet, but I don't want to show the charts. And here's another one. I bought this when I was at Color and Cotton last year on our trip, Land That I Love. So many. Well, there is a sampler. Oh, I think these coordinate with, yes, the sampler was the inspiration for all of those. So that's Land That I Love. Summer at Hollyberry Farm. This I got kitted from Country Sampler. It's been a while ago. It's going to be on Winter's Brew. I love that. It's always the big ones that get me every time. Liberty by With Thy Needle and Thread. And that one's all kitted. Love that too. Those the Quaker shapes. Yuletide Shanty by Plum Street. Let's see. It's got the linen. I don't think it has the thread. That was from the estate sale. And let's see. Grand Old Flag sampler. Didn't I show this already? Do I have this twice? I think I have this twice. Now, I'm not going to take the time, but I think I did. So I think I have it twice. I say I'm not taking the time, and what am I doing? Taking the time. Yep, there we go. Oh, okay. Well, one is kitted, and one is not. That's probably before I started using Cross Stitch Plus app, because now I put everything in there and check before I buy anything. A couple more, and then we'll be finished. These all came as little kits, and I think I would do them on one big piece and then make pillows out of them, because I think the pieces of linen are little, so it'd be hard to put in a hoop. But it came with the silk. This is Whale Watch, and these are all by Chessie and me. Long May She Wave. Oh, American Coast. I thought I think I need to put these in when I get some of my smalls done and add these in. 1776 Harbor. Oh, yeah, these are all kitted with the linen and the silk. Summer Liberty. Now, this is not patriotic, but that's by same designer. So that's why it's all together in that bag. Then there's two that aren't necessarily patriotic, but they are historical, that keep calling to me. This is Mary Chilton, 1620 sampler. I picked this up at the Attic when I was there last year. And don't have the linen, but there are those silks. I think those are silk. And then this one, Nantucket Girl Sampler. Again, it just feels like New England. It's not really a flag, so it's more historical. This one's older. This is from that estate sale. It's all kitted, 2013. So those are just some of the things that I have. As you can see, more than, I'll say more than I'll ever do, but I'm not going to say that. I have liked some so much, I bought it twice. So I don't know what I'll get started. But my plan is to come back in about 3 weeks. Probably won't be 2. This time it was 2.5. Probably come back in 3 weeks or so. And for March, when I see you next time, you'll see which pieces have cycled in and which have cycled out. So what I'll be working on in March. And I don't know that yet. I know a couple that I'll be working on continually because they're going to be worked on until they're done. But I'm going to add some others in. And you'll see if I started any of all those things I just showed you. What was the one I said I have to start right away? I've already forgotten. It's toward the bottom, so it was one of the first ones. Oh, yes. Is this it? This one. Patriots in. Sucker for a Big House. Oh, yes, and the one I said looked like Valentine's. So that's 2 I need to leave out to think about starting as I continue to work on my other things. So thank you for joining me. Ziggy was quiet. He's laying over there, and I won't disturb him, but he was quiet. I thought he was going to start barking. Then I thought he was going to start snoring, but he didn't do any of it this time. Just checking my notes. So if you were keeping track, I had 11 whips that have been pulled to work on, and 9 I've worked on this month so far, and I had 2 new starts. Seemed like there was 3. Maybe the birthday start I counted separate. Just checking my notes there. So we'll see how this goes, and if it seems too convoluted for you, that's okay too. The bottom line is I'm focusing on trying to work on everything this year, but focusing on a handful in a methodical way so I can get some of these things done and up on the wall. And hopefully next time you'll see what I'm picking up that's been framed. Oh, it's gonna be so pretty. Hope to show you next time. I think that's it. I want to thank you for joining me. I hope you have enjoyed this more normal floss tube with a patriotic chart / whip kit parade. And let me know what you're working on right now. Are you working on one thing? Are you working on many? Are you doing some of the salves? Are you working on patriotic? Are you doing something totally different? Let me know what you're working on. I'm always love to hear what you are working on and what you're doing. All right, that's it. I'm not going to ramble anymore. I'm going to clean up, and then I'm going to go stitch some more. So until next time, bye, everybody.